pretty that highlight is. It's just so stunning. Guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're talking a full face of clean makeup at Nordstrom. I did this look today. The lip is pulling in the monitor. It looks crazy. I swear it doesn't look that crazy in person. It's not that bright or pink. But I really enjoyed making this for you. I feel like it's fun to explore kind of the options at those bigger stores that sometimes you just go to, you run into at the mall, because it's not every day that you have access to all the Sephoras or the Credos or anything like that. So I thought that this would be fun. I would love to know down below what else you want to see from this channel in 2025, what makeup looks, if there are any, what reviews, all of that. Let me know down below. And yeah, I just want to jump into the video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this full face of clean makeup at Nordstrom. Clean makeup at Nordstrom. Let's get into it. First thing first, we're going to do our brows. I already prepped my face. I used the In Beauty Project, their Extreme Cream. That is my obsession of life. Now we're going to start with our brows. I'm going to use this brow gel. It's from Ilia. It's just a clear brow gel. I love a clear brow gel. Even though I am kind of looking for other brow gels out there. So if you have any good suggestions, let me know. But I'm getting my brows done kind of soon. And I'm so happy. I'm going to gel my brow hairs in place. This one is great because it doesn't like flake or peel. It just takes a little bit to dry down. So we're going to give it a second to dry down. And then we're going to fill in my brows. So we're going to give it about a minute to dry, and then we are going to fill in my brows. Brow gel is dry. Now I'm going to go on with the Ilia brow pencil. I also have the brow pencil from Westman Atelier because I feel like I remember this being a little bit warm, but we're going to fill in with this. I love this because it has like a very, I don't know if you can see, like a more pinpointed kind of nib. And we're going to fill in the brows lightly. Brows are filled. I actually did need to go in with the Westman Atelier brow pencil, but you know I love this. Anyways, now we're going to move on to complexion. I have two options. I wasn't sure which one I was going to pick depending on kind of where my skin's at. I have the Kosas Their BB Burst, or I have the Ilia foundation stick. And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go Ilia foundation stick just because I do have some hyperpigmentation that needs to be covered on my chin, and this does a really good job of kind of staying in place and kind of not moving. So I'm going to place this. This is so good. I love this. I'm going to just place this all over my face, and I'm actually going to blend this with a brush. I don't know if I said the shade name for this one. I wear the shade 24N in this and the shade 32 in the Kosas BB Burst. And then I'm going to take this brush here. This is an hourglass brush, and I'm going to just blend it all out. And then I'm actually going to take a little bit more, just place it right here where I have the hyperpigmentation popping through. It's not going to be perfect or anything like that, and that's not my expectation. I just want to like tone it down a bit. I keep getting these like breakouts on my chin, and I don't know what is going on. I feel like a lot of my friends have been having the same thing though. I feel like it's the time of year. I always forget that my skin freaks out kind of around springtime, but that is the base. I really, really like this foundation stick. It can give you nice kind of buildable to medium coverage in my opinion. It just looks like skin in the best way. It doesn't look heavy or anything. I'm a really big fan of this foundation stick. I'm going to move on to my under eyes, and I'm going to actually use the Kosas Their New kind of color correcting eye brightener. I have the shade Fantasy, I believe. Yeah, the shade Fantasy, and I'm going to take a little bit and just place it right there. And I'm going to let that sit for about 30 seconds to a minute. So we're going to let it sit and then come back and blend it out. Okay, that's that long enough. Now I'm going to take this brush here and we're just going to blend out the under eyes. I'm not going to move the product too much, but I am going to kind of keep it kind of just in that area. I don't want to swipe it all the way. And it does a really good job of just balancing the darkness that I have under my eyes, especially during this current season of allergies that are just absolutely killing me. Now on top of that, I'm going to go with the Victoria Beckham Beauty, their concealer pen in the shade M1. Is this M1? Yeah, M1. This is a good, like, true match to my complexion. If I wanted something brighter, I would go with, like, a brighter shade. This isn't super brightening for my under eyes. And I don't use too much. I'm going to do, maybe I'll do 3 pumps out, and I'm going to just place it. You're not going to be able to see because it's a really good complexion shade match for me. And this is another one that I'm going to let sit for a minute. So we'll be back. I'm going to let it just dry down, marinate, do its thing, and then we're going to blend it out. All right, that's sat long enough. Now I'm going to just blend with my fingers. All right, now we're going to kind of move into bronzing, blush, and all of that. So the first thing I actually want to do is I want to go in with the Westman Atelier, their super loaded drops. I'm going to go in with the shade Peau de Pêche, and I just want to strategically kind of place this. So I'm going to take a little bit, very small amount. I'm going to blend it out kind of on the back of my hand, and I'm going to pick the product up with this brush, and I'm going to kind of just focus it on the high points of my cheeks and just up a little bit. Now I'm going to go on with bronzer, and I have 2 options, both from Westman Atelier. One is their contour stick in the shade Truffle, and the other is their new their bronzing drops in the shade Soleil Parfait 3, I believe. Yes, Soleil Parfait 3. I think I'll go on with this because I always use the contour stick. It's my favorite, and I'll probably use that on my eyes. So I'm going to just shake it up, and then a little bit of this goes a long way, so don't get too crazy because, like, this is potent, but in a good way. And then I'm just going to blend it out. Look how beautiful that is. I am obsessed, and I'm actually going to take this brush here. This is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. I'm going to dip in, and I'm going to not press too hard and lightly bronze up the face. I just love, look how pretty that bronze is. Also, I desperately need to wash my hair. It's like a crime. I feel like I'm 4 days past when I needed to wash it last. I'm just lazy when it comes to hair washing. Then I'm going to take whatever's left on the back of my hand and just kind of pull it down my nose. We're going to move on to cream blush, and then we're going to move back to powder bronzer, and then back to powder blush, and really just keep everything like really in place all day. I have 2 options for cream blushes. I have one from Victoria Beckham Beauty and one from Ilia. This shade, I believe it's the shade Ladybird. The shade Ladybird is kind of just like everything. It's so pretty. I feel like I want to go with this today. I haven't used this in a while, and every single time I use it, I'm like, why haven't I used it in a million years? So I'm going to put that in the back of my hand. This is the shade here. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to pick it up on this Hourglass blush brush. I love this. It's so good. It, like, the way it disperses the blush is just amazing. And I'm going to lightly build it up because, again, we're going in with powder blush, so I don't want to overdo it, but look how pretty that shade is. I'm so obsessed with it. I mean, look how pretty that is. It's just gorgeous. I feel like the blush mixed with the super loaded drops from Westman Atelier underneath is like just the most gorgeous combination. You'll have to let me know what you think down below. I just love that blush. You have to let me know down below what you think. Now, before we move on to the powders that we're going to kind of set the bronzer and blush with, I want to give them a couple more minutes. So while I let that marinate, we're going to move on to the eyes. And I'm going to start off with the Westman Atelier, their contour stick in the shade Truffle. And I'm going to just apply it. I'm going to take a little bit and pull it on my lower lash line. I'm just picking it up on just this little brush here. And then I'm going to go on with this eyeshadow palette from Ilia. This is their Warm Nude, I believe. Yeah, their Warm Nude palette. This is just their old packaging. And I'm going to dip in to first this shade right here, this kind of neutrally beige shade. And I'm going to take it and just pull it kind of like this and up to kind of diffuse the line a bit, but also kind of build it up a little bit with a little bit more of a neutral shade. All right, I'm really liking how that's looking. Now what I want to do is I do want to take a little bit of the two shimmer shades in this palette right here. So this light shade and this darker coppery kind of brown shade, and mix them together. So I'm going to take a little bit of each and mix them on the back of my hand. I'm going to get the shade I'm looking for. And then I'm going to place it right in. Look how pretty that is. I actually can't. It's so stunning. And just kind of pull it all over the lid. Then I'm going to take the darker shade here and I'm going to dip into that with just a brush. And I'm going to place it on the outer edge lightly. I'm not trying to, it's going to like build up, but I don't want it to be too much. So I'm just going to kind of place it and then kind of blend out with a different brush. But this is kind of where I want it placed. I don't want it to get too crazy. Then with a clean brush, I'm just going to go and kind of blend the edge out a bit. And whatever is left on this brush here, which is what I use for the darker shade, I'm not going to dip back in. I'm going to pull it just on the outer edge and kind of pull it up. But it's not going to like create a wing or anything. It's just like going to be subtly kind of creating a little bit of something. And again, I'm not dipping back in to the powder. I'm just adding a little bit of definition to the outer lash line. What I want to do is I want to take the eyeliner from Victoria Beckham Beauty. This is the shade Why Didn't I Bring a Sharpener? The worst. I'm going to use this one in the shade Cocoa. Hopefully it doesn't scratch me too much, but we'll do our best. And I'm going to just make kind of like a rough line with it. I don't want it to be too perfect because I'm going to kind of mush it out with my finger. And then I just blend it out with my finger. It doesn't need to be perfect or anything. All right, happy with that. Now I just went to go get a sharpener because this was also not sharpened. This is a Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeliner in the shade Cinnamon. And I just want to, on my lash line, on my waterline, I mean, just add a little bit of that to this. I just love shades like that. The shade Cinnamon in my waterline and the shade Shimmering Brown from Rowan, they give me life. It's so pretty. It adds pretty dimension. It's not making the makeup look heavy or anything like that. Now what I want to do is I want to do a little inner corner highlight, and I think I want to go on with this one from Victoria Beckham Beauty. This is the shade Oyster. It's so pretty, and I'm just going to place it right there. Look how pretty that is. It just is so stunning. I love the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeshadow sticks. Eyeshadow sticks in general are just life. Anyways, now what I want to do is I'm going to let that marinate and do its thing before I go on with mascara and all of that. So now we're going to go back to the cheeks and we're going to use some bronzer. And we're going to go on with one of these bronzers. We have the Victoria Beckham Beauty bronzers. This one is in the shade 3, I believe. Yeah, this is the shade 3. I have 2 because I have a sickness. And then I also have this shade here, which I think matches better with the bronzer I already used. This is the shade 4. And I'm going to, on one side of this, just one, because I'm going to also use this for my blush, I think. I'm going to dip in to both these shades just with this one side and then take some of it off because the bronzer gets away from me so fast. I'm just going to place it where I have placed my other bronzer, and I'm not going to get too intense with it, but I do want to kind of just make sure everything sets into place, and then also do my nose. I just love that. It just melts in the skin. It is stunning. Anyways, now we're going to move on to powder blush, and I just realized I took 1 million. We don't need this many. So I have one from Jane Iredale, their blush, and this one's in the shade Sheer Honey, which I feel like might be a little bit too bronze. Then I also have this one from Kosas. This is shade Hype, very pretty. Then I have this one, Strike a Rose, from Bare Minerals. Can I Get a Grip? And it's very pretty. Then I also have so many powder blushes. Am I okay? Then I also have this one from RMS, which is so stunning. I might do this one. This one's just the vibe. And then last but not least, we have this one from Westman Atelier, their Baby Cheeks, their new powder blush duo. I feel like, okay, maybe I'll do 2. That might be a little much. That's okay. We're going to dip into this shade here with that brush, but the other side, tap it off because this is going to get real bathy if I'm over applying. It's just so pretty. Now what I want to do, I feel like I'm overdoing it. That's okay. I'm going to take the RMS Beauty That Blush. I'm going to actually take the smaller side and I'm going to dip in. Oh, already, I'm already regretting it. It's already running away from me. This is going to be insane. I'm going to take off what's on my hands and then, or take some off on the back of my hand and then just very lightly place it. So okay, I love that combination. What do you guys think? You have to let me know down below. I took off a lot on the back of my hand. Like, look how much blush I took off. So this is, I'm not trying to go too ham with it, but the combination is just so pretty. It's a very nice match. I am surprised with how much I like that. I want to go on with highlighter. We're going to go on with this one from Ilia. And this is in the shade Arc. It's their Light Shift Cream Highlighter. It's very pretty. It has like this very nice iridescence to it. And I'm going to pull it down center of my nose and really tap that out so it's not like a stark line. It just kind of melts into the skin. It's so pretty. And then also on the tip of my nose. Look how pretty that highlight is. It's just so stunning. What I want to do is I do want to set with a little bit of powder, and I have two options here. I have the Kosas or the Ilia one. I might do the Ilia one. I really like this set. Oh, I forget that it doesn't have that. Oh, geez, it just went everywhere. That's okay. We're going to take a little bit of the powder and I'm going to kind of tap it out in the back of my hand. So I put it on this brush and then I'm going to tap it out on the palm of my hand. And then I'm going to set all right, happy with that. You guys have to let me know what you think down below. I also need to clean up the powder that I spilled everywhere. Why? Why am I like this? Why? Anyways, now we're going to move on to mascara and lips and all that jazz. So first we're going to use the Shiseido, their lash curler. And I'm going to just pinch my lashes a little bit. I don't want them to be too insanely curled, but I do want a little bit of a curl. Now we're going to go on with the Queen Musea, their mascara. I really like this mascara. So the trick with this is wait between coats. So we're going to do 2 coats on the top. I actually don't think I'm in a mood for bottom lash mascara, but we'll see. So I'm going to do 2 coats of mascara. I'm going to do, I'm going to let you see what it looks like with 2 coats on one eye versus the other, just so you can really get a gauge of the mascara. So I'll do one eye first and then the other. So first coat, let me get this so I can get up close and personal. That is 1 coat of mascara. Now I'm going to wait about 2 minutes. I know that sounds bananas, but I'm going to wait 2 minutes going with the second coat so you can see and then finish off this eye. And then we're going to move on to the lips. All right, mascara is sat long enough. Now I'm going to go in with the second coat. That's 2 coats of mascara versus no coats and just lash kind of curler. What do you guys think? I'm going to go do this eye next, and then we're going to move on to the lips. Mascara's on. What do you guys think? I really like Queen Musea products. I believe I have 1 or 2 other products that I have to test out from them, but I love the mascara. Anyways, let's move on to the lips. So we have 2 options for lip liner. We have the RMS one, which I feel like we're going to use, or the Victoria Beckham Beauty, but we've used a lot of Victoria Beckham Beauty, so let's use the RMS one. So this one is from RMS. I love this lip liner. What is the shade? Sunset Nude. Sunset Nude. And I'm going to line my lips with this. It's so pretty. It's such a, look how pretty. It's like such a pretty neutrally shade. And I'm going to blend the edges kind of with my fingers, just so it kind of is, it's not quite such a stark line. I really like this lip color. It's so pretty. It's pulling a little more like corally or something in the monitor. It is definitely more of a neutral tone. Anyways, I have 2 lip color options. We have the RMS lipstick. I think it's their gel lipstick. At least it feels like a gel. It doesn't say the name on the bottom, but this is the shade Naomi. It's so pretty. Actually, let me do a little swatchy poop for you. me swatch both of these actually for you while I'm at it. And I have this lip crayon from Ilia in the shade Gala. And this is Naomi here. And then this is Gala. And then I feel like I want to go with this. This is the lip treatment oil from Pure Botanicals. I am obsessed with this. This is their like overnight lip treatment. Is it oil? I don't even think it's an oil. Yeah, Pure Radiance Overnight Lip Treatment. It's incredible. And the shade is like this really pretty kind of light pinkish tone. You can't really tell from that, but it's like a really pretty shade. Maybe I do a combo of the two. Okay, I'm gonna do the RMS Beauty, their lipstick in the shade Naomi. That's pulling way bigger in the monitor than it is in person. It's more neutral in person. And less like, I don't know what's going on with that. That is pulling really funky. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of this overnight lip treatment, which I am obsessed with. And yeah, that's it. That is it for my full face of clean makeup at Nordstrom. I would love to know down below, are there other stores you want me to do? What kind of product launches are you excited for? What brands, like a full face of a brand, do you want me to do? Anything like that, price points, let me know down below. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.